It's time for love. It's time for your love coach. Let's find out if you're ready for love. Here's your marvelous host, Nikki Lee.
Hello, and welcome to Ready for Love Radio. This is your host and love coach, Nikki Lee. Now, this is going to be a very unusual show because I just kind of want to update y'all and let you know some things that I've got coming up, and I really need some feedback from the listeners. So whether you've only listened, if this is your first show, or if you listen every week, or if you just listen like once a month, I want some feedback. And there's a number of different ways to do that. You could either go to lovecoachjourney.com and comment on one of the posts, preferably today's, but other ones will work. Or you go to the contact page and drop me a note, or you can go to your email and send me a message at readyforloveradio@gmail.com and let me know. So I've got some things coming up. Some I just want to let you know about. And another one, I'm trying to decide the best way to do something. And I can't make up my mind. There's literally too many options. And I know which one I think is best, but I need to know what people prefer. And I'll let you know, too, that I'm recording this as a storm is moving in, so Chloe is climbing all over me and talking to me. So you're gonna hear her chiming in quite a bit in the background, I have a feeling. And you may hear some thunder. It's hard to tell. But it's hard to tell. She's getting much more vocal for some reason here lately. But anyway, and in case you didn't know, last week was show number 400. I still can't quite believe that, but I'm thrilled about that. Unbelievable. 400 shows. Wow. And season number 9 of Ready for Love Radio will be starting on September the 1st. Been right here. That'll be season number 9 on New Visions Radio. Wow. Unbelievable. And in case you're listening to this on a podcast directory, new shows air pretty much every Thursday night on newvisionsradio.com and is simulcast on TuneIn, the TuneIn app, at 9 p.m. on the New Visions Radio channel, 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, in case you're in another country listening to us, because we are streamed on TuneIn to 196 countries. That's so cool. All right. So some of the things, I have been fighting cataracts for well over 8 or 9 months actually, but I just had surgery back in June, so I can see again, and seeing better than I have in decades. So I'm back with new shows. I am in the process of lining up new guests, and I've got a couple returning guests that have new products and new things that they want to talk about and share with you. So new stuff is on the horizon. And and we have a new game that we're going to be sharing in a couple weeks. New game for dating and getting to know potential new partners. So that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. However you listen to us, whether New Visions or podcast directories or on my Love Coach Journey site or on my archive site. And if you don't know how to get to any of those, go to lovecoachjourney.com, and all of the information is there. And replays of all the shows are embedded on that site. You can get it there anytime. And what I do, since the new shows air on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, at 10 o'clock, I have it preset and embedded so that at 10 o'clock, the player is supposed to pop up and be ready to play at 10. I want you to listen to it live at 9, and then the replay pops up at 10. And if you subscribe, which you can do through the player on my website, if you subscribe, you'll get an email notifying you at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern that there is a new show. So in case you happen to forget, that there's a new show, you will get an email that will say it's from me, and it'll say Ready for Love Radio has a new show, and it will give you a link, so all you have to do is click it, and boom, take you right to the replay. So just a friendly reminder. And that is the only email that you get from that. Now, at some point, there may be something exciting that I have to share with you, but for right now, you get one email a week. And I honestly, I don't have time for junk mail, so I'm not going to be sending you a bunch of stuff. You may get one other something a month or so, but you will not be getting a bunch of mail. You just won't. I don't have time for all that. So don't worry that I'm going to be doing a bunch of email. Now, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is, in addition to having new shows for you, I currently have 2 Etsy stores, okay? And I have one that is, they're both for printable type items, okay? And in case you've never heard of a printable, and I hadn't heard of printables like several years ago, they are things that you can print off on your printer. Now, it can be one page that you print, or it can be a lot of pages that you print. So it can be, say, a game that you might use at, say, a bridal shower, or a kid's party, or it may be other items that you use. One reason I mentioned bridal shower is one of my stores is all for wedding planning and that sort of thing. So I've got bridal shower games. I've got various items. Actually, the best sellers in the store are a group of 4, and I'm getting ready to add another one. But it's duties of the wedding party. So like the maid of honor, the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, the best man. And I'm getting ready to add one. I got to finish typing it up and formatting it for the duty of the groom. Don't think I'm going to do one for the bride, but I may at some point. And I'm also working on about a 5 or 6 page list, a checklist. If you're having somebody, either professional photographer or somebody else, do your photographs, and you want to make sure that every single solitary picture you want is being done. But there's a whole group of different things that I have on there, and there's actually going to be an entire do-it-yourself wedding planning kit when I'm done. But I'm doing each one of the pieces separately and putting them in there. Also working on a really neat, and it's almost done, wedding music kit with suggested songs for every possible special dance that you're supposed to have. Suggested songs and the order that they go in, and all. You wouldn't believe all the stuff I've got planned for it. So as I'm getting ready, I'm putting them all in the store. But each one of those, you can print it off and then use it, or hand it off to whoever's helping you with it and that sort of thing. And I'll have the links to all this stuff on the show page, which is going to be, what am I going to call today's show page? It'll be www.lovecoachjourney.com/coming up. How about that? Coming up. I like that. All right. I've got another store, just because I want to keep the different things separate, because the wedding one's going to have so many things that needs its own place. I've got another store that started out with coloring books, and it still has coloring books, and it's going to have some of my ebooks, but it also is going to be in the near future having journals and planners. And I know that I talk on here a lot about journaling. So I just wanted to mention that I do have journals on the horizon. I'm hoping to have at least some of those out before gift-giving season. I'm not sure how soon, but when I have those available, I will make sure that I announce it on the show and let you know. And I will probably have a special coupon code for my show listeners. And I will definitely make sure that that is on my show promos. I will mention it on the show, and it will be on the show page. So, yeah, I will definitely make sure that is a special thing that's mentioned. I think that would be a good idea, don't you? Special discount for my listeners. Yeah, I like that. I got to do that. And if I forget that, I want somebody that's listening today to remind me, and then I'll have to add that the next week. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Because things get crazy and I may forget, because I've got hundreds of journals and planners I need to add to the website. So lots and lots of stuff. Plus, I just got invited to. I actually purchased my own very, very interesting website, e-commerce website, that has the option for me to bring other people in to be vendors and have their own presence on the website to sell things, physical products or downloadable products. It has the option for people to be affiliates for the website and generate commissions. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to have to wait, though. There's so many of those things right now. And I was invited to be a vendor on a big website that I really like. So I need to start getting some things onto there. And I also got an invitation for a new site that's going to be like Etsy today, and I'm going to be putting things onto there. So lots of craziness happening right now. So I need to get the products organized and uploaded, and like I said, lots of new products I need to get out there too. And I need to clone myself or teach Chloe how to do some of this stuff. Maybe I just need to get her own computer. That's it. And then she can help me. Okay. And then one of the other things I'm trying to figure out, on my hard drive, I have got dozens and dozens of classes or courses, okay, online courses that are related to relationships, self-improvement, and this sort of thing, these kind of topics, okay, all things that are related to what my guest and I talk about on the show, okay, and I've been putting those together, been organizing all the information, and they're they're different in the way that they're put together. Some just have like reports and maybe a video, videos for them. Most of them are several different parts, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. Some of them are 8 weeks. Some have several different parts and mind maps to go with them. Some have checklists. There's different things, okay? But I've got a bunch of these. And like I said, I've been collecting these for a good chunk of the time I've been doing the show. And fascinating bunch of stuff and all kinds of great topics, okay? Some of them like healing from trauma, living an intentional life, confidence, self-esteem, bad habits, visualization, dealing with challenges, creative intelligence, self-empowerment, how to get rid of distractions, identifying and getting rid of distractions, several about self-care, boundaries. You know how I like talking about boundaries, and how to identify and how to set healthy boundaries, living your truth, imposter syndrome, power of forgiveness. I mean, there's all these fantastic things, right? And I can't wait to share them. I cannot. Okay, but I got to figure out, and I've been looking at all these different platforms. There's all these different places that you can offer them online. There's Udemy, there's Teachable, there's Podia, there's all these different sites. Okay, and they've all got these different rules, and they all take a percentage, and they all want this stuff and all this stuff. So I can't figure out which place. There's a lot of work to put them on there. So I got to figure out what I want to do. But there's also Patreon. Okay, so Patreon offers the opportunity to interact with everybody in one place. Okay, and instead of having to maintain all of the different classes in all the different separate places, everybody could interact together, which I like that better, okay? Instead of having to say, well, I want to take this class and I want to take that class, or I want to take that class, you just say, I just want to be here with Nikki and talk about stuff, and then you can do everything, right? So I'm really sort of leaning toward that option. And then we just say, okay, this is a topic we want to do this month. Or we want to take 2 months and really dive into something and really do it and talk about it, right? And then everybody can just do something together, right? And then I could even try to find a couple people to have on the show. See, and then, too, I can bring in the recordings from the show and have those to add as a special thing of old shows that, y'all might not remember, that I've talked to in the past, and could bring in those people and have them come in for a chat, too. And there's a lot more options on Patreon. And I could do it cheaper on Patreon. So I'm just thinking, like I said, I spent a good chunk of the weekend looking at all these different platforms for courses, and then it hit me this morning. I'm like, I think Patreon's probably the better option. So I'd really love some thoughts from you guys on what you think. First, is it even of interest to dig into this with you? And what do you think about that? And see, with Patreon, too, if you just kind of want to barely scratch the surface, you've got that option. And, we could do like the articles about different things, which I've got thousands of articles about different stuff. Okay. And then just kind of have a conversation. But then if you wanted to dig deeper and really dig into like the reports and the checklist and the workbooks and all that, then there's that option for the people that want to do that and want to have like brainstorming sessions and that kind of thing. So you don't have to go super deep if you don't want to, but if you do, that option is there. Does that make sense to everybody? And if it doesn't, leave me a note, drop me a note, drop me an email, or post something on the site. I'm open to conversation in the comment section. So let me know what you think. Like I said, this is going to be a mountain of work to put this out there, and I want to do it right. I want to do what's going to be the most beneficial. But I hate seeing this stuff on my hard drive and it's not getting shared because it's so much awesome information. I've got my Love, Accept, and Respect Yourself program, and this stuff all complements it great. So, and my Love, Accept, and Respect Yourself program, that's several $100s right there. And that's automatic for people that join me on Patreon. And this is all in addition to that. So, I want to know what folks think would be the best way to do it. So I'd love to hear what are some thoughts. And I'm pretty good at brainstorming. So the more thoughts I hear from you guys, the more that will help me figure out what's the best way to go with this. Just to give you an idea about a couple of the things I'm looking at, I mentioned trauma, okay? And what I'm looking at, like, sometimes we may be dealing with trauma and not really, there's so many times that we get used to what's our normal and don't think about the fact that we could improve our situation. And it's not, I'm not saying that like it's a fault kind of thing. It's just that's, like I said, it's our normal. It's how our life is. And it's the kind of thing that other people may see it because it's not their normal. It's not how they live their life. And you know how we can look at somebody else's life and actions and we know it's different. Like I said, because it's not us. It's easier to see things with another person. Okay. So in the trauma class, okay, it helps us see the signs that we're struggling. Okay, and sometimes we need somebody to point it out to us, and we need to see those signs and have them pointed out. And then it helps us with the complications of trauma. It helps us with the self-care of healing. What do we need to do to help ourselves heal? We don't just heal automatically. Okay, it's a process in order to help us heal. There are things that we need to do. And then anxiety and depression is a very real part of trauma, no matter what kind of trauma it is. And there's many, many, many types of trauma that we can go through. Okay, and just to give you an example of what comes in some of these programs. Okay, there's an 8-page report, and there's 4 of those, one for each one of those sections. There's 4 checklists for us to go through. There's 2-page worksheets for each one of those topics. And there's 10 promotional images that give us thoughts to consider for each of those. Okay? So it's not just a little bit of something. We dive into each one of those different topics and go through each of those. Okay, now an intentional life Do you know what an intentional life is? Well, if you go through this class, I've got 46 articles dealing with different parts of that. Can you imagine 46 articles to tell you about an intentional life? There are 5 infographics talking about forgiving yourself. Are you living on autopilot? There's 10 signs that tell you that you are. There are 10 ways to have an intentional life. And there are 5 mistakes when you're trying to chase your dream. A lot of people chase their dream. If you are you doing it right? Okay, there's a video that goes with this, and there are 5 reports that go with this. Oh, and there's a cheat sheet. Always nice to have a cheat sheet. And one of the ones I really liked, and this is very involved. This got all kinds of stuff. This would probably take 2 months to go through this next one. And I've got a couple different courses on confidence, and the title grabbed me immediately. It says 8 types of confidence. Did you know there are 8 types of confidence? And confidence is very, very, very important, okay? And just in case you want to know, confidence is very sexy on a person. And you could tell immediately if somebody's confident, okay? If they're confident, you can tell. Now, there's self-confidence. Then there's, are you confident in your support system? Do you have a support system if something goes wrong? Okay, do you have confidence that things in your life are going to be okay? That's important. Oh my goodness, that's important. Do you have confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way? Ooh, that's if you get to that point, that's big. How about confident that change is good? Ooh, a lot of people don't like change at all. How about confidence that you can be self-supportive? Can you support yourself? I don't know if I've told this, but it's been a long time. When I was a kid, I was somewhere with my mom and a bunch of her friends, and I heard all of these women fretting and worrying. What would they do if something happened to their husband? And of course, this was in the 70s sometime, which, I mean, that was very common then. And they were worrying so much about what they would do if something happened to their husband. And I was really young at the time, but I promised myself that I was not going to be that person. I was not going to spend my days going that in the same state that I saw them. I said, I am going to know that I can take care of myself. Now, there have been some times in the last 7 years that I have been extremely concerned about that since getting sick. And I've had to come up with some backup plans. But for the most part, since I graduated, I have been pretty much confident that I can take care of myself and that I have the ability to earn a living, and I have the skills to maintain a household, to budget my money, and to do what I need to do to take care of myself. And I would not trade that for pretty much anything, because it is definitely a confidence booster and definitely gives me peace of mind. And I can tell you that when I was going through all the stuff with my eyes and basically had lost my independence as far as being able to do things for myself, that rocked my confidence quite a bit. So it didn't completely mess it up, but it was rough. It was rough. I got through it with some help from some really good friends, but it was hard, and I don't mind sharing that. I figure if I share the fact on here that I'm not perfect, which I'm not, none of us are, I figure it helps you realize that, none of us are perfect. And I see that we all learn through our mistakes. And I think there's many times we learn more through our mistakes than we do through our successes. And I have a firm rule: it's okay to make a mistake, but learn from it and don't make the same mistake twice if you can help it. So I don't have an issue sharing my mistakes with y'all. Some are really embarrassing, and I might not want to share some of those with you. But oh gracious! But anyway, but like I said, if it's one I know you can learn from and benefit from, I'm okay sharing it with you. Okay, how about learning that we can learn from our struggles, our challenges, our obstacles, and our failures? And I actually did not remember that was the next point. But all of those help us to build our confidence. And are you confident that you can step out of your comfort zone? Those are the 8 types of confidence, and this course digs into all of those. Now, the cool thing about this one, and not only do you have 8 topics that it digs into, and it does, but it also gives you 36 articles, 8 checklists, 8 e-courses, 8 mind maps, 2 additional reports, 1 video, 8 workbooks, and 2 infographics. So there is a mountain of information for each one of those topics. So that's only 3 of the courses, and I have dozens of these to share with you. So that's why I want to get this stuff off my computer and share it with y'all. I have got, let me see, 106 of these courses on my computer, just with the stuff for relationships and self-help and that kind of stuff, and self-improvement. And that doesn't include stuff that I can get my hands on from here on out. Oh, plus my Love Yourself program. So lots and lots of stuff to share, plus whatever else comes to mind from here on. So please think about it and feel free to share some ideas with me. And if you haven't heard of Patreon, feel free to drop me a note and let me know that too. It is a website where, and I've already started a page. I just haven't uploaded the stuff yet. It's just where we have like our own space, okay, and our own safe space if you prefer. And then anybody that I bring in, there is a small monthly fee to be a member, and that lets you in. And then if you want more access, there's different levels of membership kind of thing, depending on how much access you want. And like I said, if you just kind of want to get in and get some access, that would be very cheap. If it depends on how much access you want and how much time I'm going to be involved. But it's a really neat platform to get more involved and spend more time discussing. And I welcome the interaction. So I'd love to do it. I just want to know that listeners are interested. So please let me know what you think, and we will go from there. So, like I said, email is readyforloveradio@gmail.com, and let's see what we can do. You know what? I'm sure you all have thoughts that I'd like to hear, and I'm always open to suggestions as far as guests. And show topics. If y'all have ideas as far as show topics, let me know. I've had plenty of people send me suggestions, and many of those have become shows, and I've found people that can talk about them. And I'm picky who I bring on. I am, and so I have an archive I'm incredibly proud of, and lots and lots of very good content. And I plan to keep it that way and bring lots of other great topics and great content and great information to y'all. So let me know if you've got questions, and let me know if you've got feedback, and I will keep you all posted about any new things. And like I said, I got lots of journals I'm really, really looking forward to bringing out. And there's going to be lots of interesting journal prompts with different topics. And that's another one. If there's any specific journal prompts that y'all are interested in, let me know about that. I've had a couple people ask me about journal prompts already, but I'm always wanting to add to my list. Just remember, I've got a list already, so it's going to take me time to get them made. These things do take time to put together. Plus, I mean, I've got my regular work to do too. Is that everything? I knew today's show was going to be shorter than normal, but I had all the stuff I wanted to tell y'all about. So many exciting things going on. And we got to tell y'all about Am I Normal If last week, which is doing good. And actually, Dr. Susan is in town this week. We're working together all weekend and getting some stuff ready. They've got a class that they're working on for ASEC, which should be ready soon. And I know I have some therapists listening, so you'll know what that is. I will certainly let you know when that is done. Am I Normal If is available on Amazon, and print and Kindle, and is doing well. And we'll let you know about additional opportunities with that. And I just, so much going on. And I hope everybody's having a great summer. And if you were in a area of the world that is not having summer, I hope you're having a good winter. I think that is everything. I am hoping to have a music show soon. I was planning on one around Labor Day, but I got somebody that really wants to do a show that week for a release she's got that day. So we might, I'm not sure which one we're doing. So we'll see. Might be a music show. I might have to postpone that for a couple weeks. But I'm not sure. We'll see. So I look forward to hearing from you all. And have a great week. And I will talk to you soon. And I'll be with you next time on Ready for Love Radio.